Are there any questions from anyone in the audience? Or?
Yeah, I would like to ask one. I would like to revisit one of the questions you asked about the complexity of the approach. If we want to characterize your approach, is there a message that you want to deliver? Is there attempting that approach? Or, to me, I see more like you are gathering more data and more inspiration and hoping that something else will emerge, something more shocking. So how would you characterize?
Well, I definitely am not trying to deliver a message at all. I think I'm trying to present information and give like a general a feeling and an attitude and challenge. For this show, it took people a while to realize that it wasn't well, that I had made the work, that one person had made it and that it wasn't all historical. And I think I've gone more into the idea of setting up a challenge so you don't easily grasp something. I definitely don't want to deliver a message. I don't want to tell people what to think. I think I'd like to give them an experience and then they can walk away with what they want to. Does that answer your question? Okay.
In this latest project, this idea that this woman loses herself in the project and surprises herself with behavior, I was wondering if you were sort of walking a line and thinking that you might actually change or do something dangerous in your process.
I don't think, I probably won't. No, not dangerous. I had some nightmares though that were pretty terrifying, like someone I know like strangling me which was really scary. And I know it's absolutely about this project, so yeah. But that is an interesting parallel that you just brought up. This woman who's like, oh, that's another thing about my work that I guess is important. A lot of it is about being an artist. And one project I didn't really get to discuss is one about this wannabe football player who's also a local artist. And she's really obsessed with Drew Brees, the Saints football player, but she's also an artist and gets really, so, what is my... so I explore the identity of the artist's identity through these characters also, and I think that's my own like personal. It's a very personal part of it, but also like probably my own conflicts about being an artist and feeling this way and that way about it.
The Bree Andrews project,
Yeah.
And you created an entirely new website for that too.
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you that just really quickly.
Yeah.
How is the traffic in those websites? Have you monitored?
I don't monitor them really. Yeah, I guess I should, but I don't have time. I mean, I'd rather I could hire somebody to do that. Okay, I'll just go to this really quickly. Oops, go there. Oh, I have to do this. I'm really bad. Ooh, a PowerPoint. Okay. So this is up if you guys want to view her portfolio. You can do that too. There they are. So, yeah.
And it's interesting through that repetition of the image, and you think of Warhol and seriality and all of that, how you think the more and more you see these images, you think you'll get to see other sides of someone. And so maybe there's that aspect, but actually on me, I don't know anyway, maybe on some of you, where you have the opposite effect. Like the more and more you see the image, the more it kind of dulls your sense, and you just kind of really lose your sense of who that person is. But it's interesting how it walks that line.
I think mentioning Warhol, I mean, it's like his paintings and his screen tests are so opposite of each other, even though they're so similar. And I think about his screen tests a lot because he's just using these people who hung out in the factory and putting them in front of the camera, and they're uncomfortable and they're sort of performing. And I haven't watched them in a while, but I know that had a big effect on me, just on how like one person performs in front of a camera and what's kind of like revealed about their personality when they're not performing, kind of.
When they're on, and then kind of when
On
they
and
forget that
the
they're on.
awkwardness. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just kind of interested in your discussion, I guess Veronica Compton or something, and I was wondering if you were kind of responding to that character because of the way it also addresses, violence against women, and it's almost like a double horror because you have the whole story about these violent acts, and then you have a woman kind of reenacting it, so it's almost like a doubling.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that's just like part of the subtext of
Yeah.
women in contemporary society.
Yeah. I mean, I did think a lot about that. Just a woman who falls in love with a man who has brutalized women, who has like raped and murdered women, and like how screwed up that is, and what's like being fed that could make that sexy, and like a lot of women who fall in love with criminals who have battered women, that is a subtext. I haven't explored it like that much. I mean, I'm not trying to like deliver a message or anything, but I find it like fascinating and horrifying that that anyone could do that, or like what goes on in someone's mind where they find that sexy and attractive. So, because as women, I did a lot of research about it, like we're drawn to the alpha male who apparently, aren't we all, everyone here, who, asserts his like aggression, his physical strength, and, is like cocky and confident. And because I actually looked up, why do women fall in love with serial killers on Google? And apparently that's part of it. But I'm not actually writing to any serial killers, just so you know. I'm not doing anything that dangerous.
I'm wondering if how would you react if this woman does a self-Google search and finds you and contacts you and
Or shows up.
Yeah.
tries to strangle you?
I thought about that. She wouldn't try to strangle. She's been out. She's rehabilitated. I would actually, once I decided not to go through with this full research project and actually go to Bellingham, Washington, document the place, like interview people, meet. I don't actually know where she lives now, but once I decided to not do that, I was like, I'm inventing everything. So I had this total separation. But now that I'm done with that, like I really do want to go there and sort of like compare the two or something. And I think it'd be really interesting to meet her. I don't know how she would feel. Like, I don't know who could make who more famous, like maybe, yeah, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It sounds like you're not going to let it alone until you meet her.
I don't know. I'll probably get distracted by something else. I don't know. Yeah.
Any other questions? Well, thank you very much, and you can always come up and talk to the artist afterward. But thank you for being here tonight and being part of the evening and being part of the series. And I want to thank Nina too. Thank you.
Thank you.